In Hillary's speech today, she imagined the horror of a Trump foreign policy. She beat him like a rug, an orange one.
I believe the person the Republicans have nominated for president cannot do the job. Donald Trump's ideas aren't just different. They are dangerously incoherent. They're not even really ideas, just a series of bizarre rants, personal feuds, and outright lies. It's not hard to imagine Donald Trump leading us into a war just because somebody got under his very thin skin. We all know the tools Donald Trump brings to the table: bragging, mocking, composing nasty tweets. I'm willing to bet he's writing a few right now. Making Donald Trump our commander-in-chief would be a historic mistake.
That was harsh. Somehow I don't think she'll be invited to any more of Trump's weddings. Now, she says all of this after the State Department warns American tourists in Europe of potential terror attacks, all caused by videos. Am I right, Hillary? That's the larger point. A candidate running for president can name the threat, that is Trump, but not the threat behind terror. Trump's rise is precisely due to the liberal cowardice that refuses to name what wants us dead. Imagine all the evil things they can name: fracking, coal, traditional bathrooms, Fox News, but they can't name Islamism. When toilets trump terror, clearly we need change. Islamists work 24/7 to annihilate America, and we fret over plumbing. So are we safer with a Trump or a Hillary? Hillary said this.
As a candidate for president, there's nothing I take more seriously than our national security.
But she also claimed that a video caused terror and lied to the families of our dead. She treated classified info the way her husband treats women. Imagine if she had been hacked. Then Putin would invade his neighbors without concern. Terrorists would have known an outpost in Benghazi was ripe for picking. Syria would have known our red line was a bluff. Oh, wait. Then there's Trump. He compliments a North Korean nut, admires China's response to Tiananmen Square, bashes NATO, says he's fine with Japanese nukes. Trump's words could be scary, but Hillary's deeds, they're pretty scary too. And that's Trump's edge, because they're just words. For now. All right, before we begin, let's bring in our special guest. His name is Bill O'Reilly, and he's back with us tonight. This time you're here for an entire hour. You host something called the O'Reilly Factor, which is weekdays at 8 p.m. I don't know if you've seen it. It's pretty successful, but he's also the executive producer of Legends and Lies, a great program. Its season 2 begins this Sunday at 8 p.m. Welcome back, Bill.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I got in the elevator, and then I'm over here for an hour.
I roofied you.
I was grabbed. I was purloined.
It's called mission creep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the creep.
Thank you for the plug.
Yes.
Legends Live. We'll talk about it later. I think everybody's going to like it.
I watch every Sunday. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
really
amazing.
good.
It's a great way to do history. For someone who doesn't like history.
We force you to watch it.
I know.
Tie Gutfeld up. It only takes a shoelace.
Yes. Nicely done.
Come back tomorrow.
Yes.
I like this
What did you
already.
think of Hillary's speech?
Well,
scalding.
I'm opening with it in The Factor. I'm doing the talking points on it. I took away that the greatest threat to national security is Trump.
Yeah.
Not ISIS,
Yeah.
not Putin,
Yeah.
it's Trump.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting a little bit more depth into, okay, I'm going to solve the Putin problem this way, I'm going to go about China this way, maybe we'll do this with ISIS. Got very, very little of that.
No.
So what it was a campaign speech in California to try to mobilize Democrats to vote for her over Sanders because she hates Trump more than Sanders does.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
She's hoping that people realize that Sanders couldn't do that. What?
Or maybe she turned the campaign from a primary campaign to a general election campaign, saying, "This is, hey, Donald Trump, I'm coming after you right now." She also pointed out, her words, quote, "We need to be firm but wise with our rivals, China and Russia." And then when you think back, what's going on with China and Russia? Under Clinton, Obama, presidency, State Department, China's expanding in the South China Sea, an arsenal there, and Russia takes Crimea from Ukraine and eats our lunch in Syria. So I'm not sure how she would be more tough or firm and wise with China and Russia than Donald Trump would.
I mean, that's the point. We have her deeds. All we have for now are Trump's words. Juan, before the show, you said it was the greatest speech you ever saw, and you broke down crying.
I did.
Weeping.
I cried over the monologue. That's what I cried over. Now, actually, I thought it was a very good speech. And I was thinking that I was coming down here, I wondered how you guys would react, because I thought This was Hillary Clinton at her best. I don't think you saw anything shrill. I thought she was pointed. I thought she went right at Trump with regard to some of the inconsistencies in what he said.
Wasn't this supposed to be a foreign policy speech?
It was a foreign policy
Doesn't Trump live
speech.
here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And how would Trump impact our standing in the world? She made it very clear that Trump hurts America globally, that when he says,
don't you think
Israel, how about Israel?
Don't you think that voters are smart enough to make a determination? Do they need Hillary Clinton to say that? I wanted information about what Secretary Clinton's vision is to defeat ISIS, to neutralize Putin, to stem the unbelievable migrant catastrophe in Europe. I didn't get any of that, Juan.
There wasn't time for that.
There wasn't. I'm sorry.
No, I say it's
wasn't. No, he's why. It wasn't time because we had the best Trump for 43 minutes.
No. I'm saying it is not the time to deliver that message.
It's not the time.
What is the imperative
here,
Bill
O'Reilly?
California
is Tuesday.
No. The imperative here is to say to people, don't think that just because Donald Trump is so entertaining and has such nasty, funny statements about
get her butt kicked on
that
Tuesday.
he's out there embracing Vladimir Putin. Isn't it funny? No, it's not funny.
All right. Kimberly, what was your take on it?
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely it was like, don't vote for this guy. He's the scariest person in the world. He makes like Kim Jong-un, Putin, and everybody else look like little Teletubbies. Super reasonable, and you shouldn't be afraid of them at all. I would have liked to see some specifics as to why to choose her. She said that she has made, tough decisions, but I also know about the 4 dead Americans and pushing the video and, not following with State Department policy and deleting emails and keeping a private server. So I know about a lot of things that she's done that are inappropriate and conduct unbecoming a commander-in-chief of the United States. So tell people why they need to vote for you. First of all, you've got to get over the Bernie hurdle in California. That's within statistical margin of error. But she did sort of, I think, like bowling, jump the shark and try to get on the whole, like, hijack the Trump train and say, derail it.
What did you make of it, Dana?
Well, I agree with most of what's been said, including with Juan. I thought that it was one of her best speeches, and I do think she made the pivot to take Donald Trump on directly, as he's been doing with her. He had the luxury of doing that because he was able to dispense with his opponents early on. She tried ridicule without malice, and she didn't yell.
Yes.
And she didn't do that arc thing that drives you crazy.
Where she raises her voice and then comes back down.
Right.
She kept it level.
So this was a speech to appeal to her base and to say this is how I would take Donald Trump on. And I thought that if you're a Democrat judging it by that standards, I thought it was a good speech.
Well, for interest of fair and balance, should we run a little bit of Trump for contrast?
Sure.
Hillary Clinton, who lies, she lies. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. It's going to be another 4 years of disaster. She's one of the worst secretaries of state in the history of our country. The Libya invasion was disgusting. She went to sleep when our ambassador was murdered. She should not be allowed to run. It's a disgrace.
When you put them side by side like that, Bill, this is going to be an interesting race, don't you think?
There was a show in the 50s when you were like 12 years old?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Called the Bickersons. Do you remember, older people, the Bickersons? First it was radio. Then it was on TV. And this is what we have.
Yes.
The Bickersons, all right? It's like, okay, now I got Trump on Monday. I got to give him 30 seconds because I'm running a Hillary soundbite on him that runs exactly 30 seconds. So I'm going to tell Trump, all right, I gave Hillary a free shot at you on Thursday. You get 30 seconds on Monday. But what really does that do? I mean, as I said, to Juan, voters know basically who they're responding to and who they aren't. Now is the time to put forth, I'm going to solve the ISIS problem by doing this. I'm going to solve the Putin problem by doing this. Neither candidate's doing that.
Now, don't you think that people would have said she's in the weeds, she's out there with prescriptions, she needs to right now respond to Donald Trump? And her big advantage over Donald Trump, Bill, is experience and saying, here's the reality. This is not some kind of reality TV show. It's not The Apprentice. You're fired, Vladimir Putin.
How many times are you going to say that?
I'm just telling you that
85,000 times?
It's not just me, though. See, Republicans. Remember, you had 90 Republicans sign a letter saying this guy Trump is a threat to national security, to our interests.
But the threat to national security is radical Islam, and that's she's giving this whole territory over to Trump because there's no candidate on her side willing to say radical Islam, right?
Including
her,
yeah.
Including her, because it's going to incite some sort of additional ISIS violence, I guess.
Yeah.
she spent about 10 minutes outlining her ideas for foreign policy, and I think, what was it, 43 total minutes?
Yeah.
So another 33 minutes bashing Trump. I mean, and Bill's right about this. If this was supposed to be a foreign policy, what's her foreign policy? What is it?
But I think this was the point.
You think this was the time to do that, as opposed to take on?
Don't get me sitting down. I want to hear foreign policy.
You know what they advertised this as? They said this was Hillary Clinton finally taking on Donald Trump, and that's what she delivered.
Well, they said she was going to.
Wait a minute, hold it. I got a Clinton campaign thing that said this is a foreign policy address.
Yeah, taking on Donald Trump. You disagree with that, huh?
Wait.
I don't disagree with what it was, because we know what it was.
Yeah, that's what I
It's not the way it was billed in advance.
I thought it was.
Here's what it is. It's like a George Clooney movie, and you go in to see George Clooney, and you got Juan Williamson.
That's better.
Right.
That's even better.
You want your $8
Right. Whoa. What do you? I think there's a confusion of what the premise was. I knew that it was about Trump.
I mean, when have we ever complained about that with somebody
I'm
else?
just going by the handouts from the Clinton campaign.
Yeah.
They handed
The
out
way that I heard it
big foreign
described.
policy address in San Diego by Hillary Clinton. I go, right on, I'm ready.
But we don't mind when Trump bashes everybody, do we?
Well, let's also remember that over the last 3 or 4 polls, Donald Trump is beating Hillary Clinton in safety and securing America.
Wait, that's not true.
Oh, that is true.
Wall Street Journal NBC poll made 56% of voters, Clinton is better at handling foreign policy.
Yesterday, Quinnipiac had Donald Trump beating Hillary Clinton in securing America and on the economy. She beat him on immigration.
We're talking about who's better at handling foreign policy, Eric.
The Harvey Lembeck poll says that neither of them know anything.
Yeah. On that note, last word, KG, anything?
Yeah, I think she gave what she said was going to be a foreign policy speech, and she attacked Trump, which we also expected. I mean, it is what it is, so now she'll live by it.
By the way,
did you ever hear that expression before? It is what it is?
It's a profound one. Yes, when you eliminate the spin, that's what you say.
Oh, I just have a new one.
What?
At the end of the day.
There you go.
Oh, man, I'm copywriting this. It is what it is at the end of the day. It's dark.
Does anyone know where Donald Trump is going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow, your house.
Because I want to watch wherever he's
You love him.
Wherever
he's coming for dinner because you love him.
Bill, you know I'm going to hang out at your house tomorrow night.
I got a dog.
Hey, wait a minute, Eric.
Last word to Dana.
Wait, Eric, you're always threatening to punch me out when I say what Bill just said. The big dog is here.
You accuse me of cutting you off.
Oh, no. I say you love Trump, and you don't say anything to him, huh?
All right.
Oh, he doesn't like you.
Oh, I do.
All right,
He got the memo.
I just want to get one word in here. Okay, so 2 days ago, the news media covered an empty Trump podium and didn't cover Clinton's speech. I think that it is fair to imagine that if she had given the speech that you thought that she was going to give, nobody would have covered it. No one would have talked about it. She can't get on the front page of the paper. You have to give something to the media in order to get on the front page, and that's what they accomplished today.
And it was enjoyable, whether you liked it or not.
Oh, there you go.
Best 44 minutes I've ever spent.
She gave a good speech. She gave a good speech. I thought she did a good job.
All right.